Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. What the hell are you talking about, Donovan Mcnabb? Listen, man, let me put y'all on some real game. This is the true signs of a hater. This is the truth. This is the mark of a hater, man. You know, I am Carson Wentz in this situation. You come in, you do your thing, you looking impeccable, everybody talking about you, and the whole dudes want to show up and make it seem like that you ain't doing it right. Or it's a deficiency in your game because their game obviously was lacking something. What in Donovan McNabb's right mind gives him the right? Now think about this. Think about who Donovan McNabb is before I go on. Before I get into numbers and just get into everything that I should be getting into. What in Donovan McNabb's right mind? What gives him the right, the testicular fortitude, the unmitigated gall to open his mouth and say that if Carson Wentz don't get past the second round in 2 to 3 years, we need to start looking for another quarterback? Well, if memory serves me correct, you couldn't get to the Super Bowl in about 4 or 5 straight years after going to the NFC Championship game multiple times. We should have got rid of your ass too then, right? We should have been cut bait too, right? What the hell is he talking about? That don't even make sense. That don't make sense. So you telling me if he don't get past or to the second round in the next 2 or 3 years, we should look for another quarterback? Do you know he's good enough to get a number 1 seed and he don't have to play in the first round? He's done that before. Donovan McNabb, you never threw for 4,000 yards in a season. Let's get into some numbers, man. I don't understand. You know what? And I don't recall you, McNabb. I hope this video finds you somewhere on your desk. You need to humble yourself, man. You need to humble yourself. I don't recall you giving this much insight when Nick Foles was the quarterback. I don't recall you giving this much insight when Vic took your job damn near. You know what I'm saying? I don't recall you giving this much insight to Eagles. But I'm gonna get to why I know why you giving this insight. I know exactly why you giving this insight right now. We're gonna chop it down. But first, before we chop it down, let's talk about your first 4 seasons. 99 to 2002 compared to Carson Wentz's 3 seasons. Let's talk about that. From 99 to 2002, and I'm going to give you 99 because you played I think 6 games in 99. 99, you threw for 948 yards, 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Now, I'm not going to really hold that against you, but it goes towards your total at the end. So I'm really helping you out, Donovan. In 2000, you threw for 3,365 yards, 21 touchdowns, 13 picks. A good season. 2001, you threw for 3,233. 25 touchdowns, 12 picks. Good season. Now, do you see the trend? Your rookie year passed, then you go to your sophomore year and the year after, and you throw double-digit interceptions 2 years in a row. Carson Wentz has never done that. And let's get to 2002. You throw for 2,289 yards, 17 touchdowns, 6 picks. Carson Wentz also never threw for just a measly 2,000 yards in a season. So your first four seasons, your rookie season down to 2002, you threw for 9,835 yards, 71 touchdowns, and 38 interceptions. And I believe you made the Pro Bowl. Yeah, I think you made the Pro Bowl 2000, 2001, and 2002. So by that time, you already had 3 Pro Bowl appearances. Now, let's get to Carson Wentz's, his 3 years. 3,782 yards in his rookie season, 16 touchdowns, 14 picks. McNabb, you only passed 3,700 yards 2 times in 11 tries. You've only passed it twice in 11 tries. Okay. Now, let's get down to 2007. 3,296 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. 33 touchdowns, Mr. McNabb, is the franchise record for a Philadelphia Eagles quarterback. You were a Philadelphia Eagles quarterback. You only threw for 30 touchdowns, I think, 1 time in your career, and it was 31. Okay. Oh. And that season, Carson Wentz finished, I think, 2nd in MVP voting. And he was a Pro Bowler his 2nd season, just like you. And the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Okay. Now you get down to last season. 3,000 passing yards again for Carson. 21 touchdowns, 7 picks. In those 3 years, Carson Wentz missed 8 games. Let's get to his totals now. 70 touchdown passes, Now, you had a half a season advantage over him, and you threw one more touchdown pass. But this is the key, what I want to get to. 28 picks. You threw 10 more picks than Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz has already eclipsed 10,000 yards. You couldn't do that in 3.5 seasons. Carson Wentz did it in 3 seasons. Your first 3.5 seasons, in my opinion, don't compare to Carson Wentz's 3 seasons that he missed 8 games in. Listen, man, I know why you're upset. Before the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, Donovan, you were regarded as the greatest Eagles quarterback of all time. You're not anymore. You're not that no more. Listen, Jim Kelly is regarded as the greatest Buffalo Bills quarterback of all time. And you know when that's going to change? When somebody new come up in there and win the Super Bowl. Because almost getting it done don't count. So all Buffalo Bills fans have to hang their hat on is Jim Kelly. Because he almost did it. He came the closest. Same for Frank Tarkenton. Almost came the closest. You're not Jim Kelly or Frank Tarkenton. Now what you have dwindled yourself down to is just a top 3 quarterback in franchise history for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it burns you up and eats you alive. The fact that you had your best years with the Philadelphia Eagles. So this is all, it's all coming full circle now, Donovan. It must have burned you alive to watch the Eagles win that Super Bowl and you not be a part of it. I see the joy in Brian Dawkins crying how happy Brian Dawkins was. I didn't see that same joy in you, and I understand why. Because you low-key don't like Carson Wentz. You hate the fact that Carson Wentz is going to throw for 4,000 passing yards this season. We don't need your type of hate. We don't need hate coming from within the old legends in the organization. We need support because we're trying to build a winning culture here. And all the times when and everything great that we did since Carson Wentz been here, winning the Super Bowl, putting Philly on the map finally, putting us in a great position amongst, just putting us in the club to have a Lombardi. Nobody never shitted on the legends. But here you come. In the same breath, you say this. And then you try to clean it up at the end of the interview. First, you say, if he don't get past the second round, they need to start drafting quarterbacks, looking at quarterbacks. Then you say it all rides on his health. So which one is it? You want him to stay healthy, or they need to start looking at quarterbacks? Or if he don't succeed, they need to start looking at quarterbacks. Because you didn't succeed either. You wasn't successful. You're not a first ballot Hall of Famer. You didn't succeed. You almost got it done. And as we know in Philadelphia, almost don't count. Check yourself, Donovan. It's Pennsylvania now. We don't need you spewing that. You don't even need no more interviews. You don't need no more interviews. You need to fall back, man. That was real big hate, man. You sound like one of them boys.